All right, fifth grade. Well, we are continuing right along here in chapter 11, and we are looking here. This kind of mess that you're looking at here, I want to kind of describe it to you because you're going to want to take a screenshot of this or maybe copy this down. Um, and this is kind of what is going on here. The big letter is a G. The G stands for gallon. Today we're talking about U.S. customary units of capacity. You buy gallons of milk from Meyer or Harding's or whatever. The big G stands for gallon. Now inside that big G are 1, 2, 3, 4 Q's. The Q is for quart. 4 quarts, 1, 2, 3, 4, make up 1 gallon. Now, inside each Q, you see 2 P's. The P is for pint. 2 pints make up 1 quart. So then you can see that 2, 4, 6, 8 pints make 1 gallon. You can see from the cups, inside each P are 2 C's. Let me focus in. That is the idea that 2 cups make up 1 pint. So then you can see that 4 cups make up a quart, which would mean that if each quart has 4 cups, it takes 16 cups to make a full gallon. Now let me zoom in again. This 8 inside each C is the idea that 8 fluid ounces make up 1 cup. So you can see that it would take 16 fluid ounces to make up a pint, or it would take 32, 16 and 16, to make up a whole quart. And if I wanted to multiply the 32 by 4, I'd get 128. 128 fluid ounces makes 1 gallon. And so this chart helps you to see those conversions. But the key, the G stands for gallon, the Q stands for quart, the P is for pint, the C is for cups, and the 8 is for 8 fluid ounces. We'll refer to this, but I would recommend you take a screenshot or copy something like this down in class. I'll put a big one on the board. Expect you to put it in your notes. But yeah, that's kind of what is going on here. U.S. metric units of capacity. Gallons, quarts, pints, cups, fluid ounces. All right, as we have been throughout chapter 11, the first focus is going to be on converting. And the first thing we're going to do here is convert the capacity. Well, it says that 7 gallons equals blank quarts. So the idea, if I look at that, it's 4 quarts make 1 gallon. Now, as always, the theme throughout this chapter has been, if the measurement gets smaller, the number gets bigger, so we multiply. If the measurement gets bigger, the number gets smaller, so we divide. All right, and that's what's kind of happening here. So we're going to be converting the capacity. 7 gallons equals blank quarts. All right, well, the idea, 4 quarts make 1 gallon. So going from gallons to quarts, my measurement is actually getting smaller. So my number is getting bigger. 1 gallon is bigger than 1 quart, so the measurement's getting smaller. The number's getting bigger. I'm going to multiply by 4 because we learned from our chart, it's 4 quarts that make a gallon. 7 times 4 is 28. 7 gallons makes 28 quarts. 32 pints equals blank quarts. Well, I see that 2 pints makes 1 quart. 2 pints makes 1 quart. So if I'm going from pints to quarts, my measurement is getting bigger because 1 quart is bigger than 1 pint. So my number's getting smaller. So I'm going to divide. 32 pints, since it's 2 pints that make 1 quart, 32 divided by 2 is 16. 32 pints will make 16 quarts. 30 cups, well, that can't be right. 30 cups, that can't be right. We're going to make that pints. 30 cups equals blank pints. Well, I can see from my measurement that 2 cups make 1 pint. So going from cups to pints, my measurement is getting bigger, which means my number is going to get smaller, which means I'm going to divide. And since it's 2 cups that make 1 pint, it's going to be 30 divided by 2. Well, 30 divided by 2 is 15, and I get 15 pints. 84 quarts is equal to blank gallons. 84 quarts is equal to blank gallons. Well, as we know from our chart, it takes 4 quarts to make 1 gallon. 4 quarts makes 1 gallon. So going from quarts to gallons, my measurement is getting bigger, which means my number is getting smaller, which means I'm going to divide. And since it's 4 quarts that make a gallon, this is going to be 84 divided by 4. Well, 4 can go into 8 twice. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 8 is 0. Going to bring the 4 down. 4 can go into 4 1 time. There's none left over because I know that 4 times 1 is 4. So 84 quarts is equivalent to 21 gallons. All right, moving right along. 3 1/4 cups equals fluid ounces. Well, if I go back to my chart and I focus in, I remember that 8 fluid ounces makes 1 cup. But I have 3 1/4 cups. Now, 1 cup is bigger than 1 fluid ounce. So going from cups to fluid ounces, my measurement is getting smaller, which means my number is getting bigger, which means I'm going to multiply. So I'm going to take 3 1/4 and I'm going to multiply it by 8 because it's 8 fluid ounces that makes 1 cup. Well, 4 times 3 is 12 plus 1 is 13. So it's going to be 13 over 4. That's going to be multiplied by 8 over 1. I can cross-check a 4 and an 8 by dividing by 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 13 times 2 equals 26. 1 times 1 is 1. I get 26 over 1, which I know is just 26 fluid ounces. 32 quarts equals blank cups. 32 quarts equals blank cups. Well, when I go from quarts to cups, that's interesting. The measurement is getting smaller, going from quarts to cups. So the number's getting bigger, so I'm going to multiply. But how many cups is in a quart? Well, I see that there's 2 cups in a pint, and there's 2 pints, so it looks like I've got 2 C's, 4 C's. Looks like 4 cups make a quart. So I'm going to be multiplying by 4. 32 times 4. Well, 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. I get 128. 32 quarts is equivalent to 128 cups. All right, let's talk about comparing. Once again, when we compare, we have to convert one of the measurements so they're similar. It's that same idea. To compare fractions, we have to have the same denominator. To compare decimals, we need to make sure that we have the same amount of digits that come after the decimal point. Okay? To be able to compare units like this, we have to make them the same unit. So 96 quarts to 24 gallons. Now, like I always said, for me, it's easier to multiply than to divide. Not necessarily, but that's what I prefer to do. So gallons to quarts is where my measurement is getting smaller. So that's where I can multiply. Look back to my chart. It's 4 quarts that make a gallon. 4 Q's there inside my G. So I would have to do 24 times 4. Well, 24 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. Put the 6 down, carry the 1. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. So it looks like 24 gallons is the same as 96 quarts. Well, that's what I have here. 96 quarts. So it looks like those two are equal. 48 fluid ounces and 6.5 cups. Well, once again, I want to take my cups and turn it into fluid ounces. Now, I look from my chart. I get 8 fluid ounces in 1 cup. So 1 cup is bigger than 1 fluid ounce. So the measurement is getting smaller. So the number is going to get bigger. So I'm going to multiply. It's going to be 6.5 times 8. 2 times 6 is 12, plus 1 is 13. That's going to be 13 over 2 times 8 over 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 13 times 4 is 52. I end up with 52 over 1, which is equivalent to 52. So 6.5 cups is equal to 52 fluid ounces, which means that is greater than 48 fluid ounces. 20 quarts and 48 cups. Well, as we see here again, inside a quart, I have 4 cups. It takes 4 cups to make a quart. Now, if I'm going to take 20 quarts and I want to turn that into cups, I can multiply by 4 because the measurement is getting smaller, the number's getting bigger, and there are 4 cups in a quart. So I can take the number of quarts, which is 20, multiply that by 4. 0, 4 times 2 is 8. 80 quarts is 80 cups. Is definitely bigger than 48 cups. So that would be the bigger one. All right, that is converting and comparing U.S. customary units of capacity. All right, like we said, take a screenshot, write that down as your visual to help with the conversions. All right, talk to you later, 5th grade. Bye.